Where do I begin? Well, hello everyone, Daniel Stabler here, and it is time to get nerdy. Although I really don't know how much nerd talk I'm going to be doing right now. The thing is, over this week so far, after the tragedy of Charlie Kirk's assassination, there have been some just dumb arguments. And on both sides. One, the left definitely is sickening. Them and their blaming Charlie Kirk's assassination on Charlie for his viewpoint. And then you got this weirdo named Destiny who, man, I don't know why any of us conservatives pay attention to him. I would have always been glad never to have heard of this guy. But he winds up on Piers Morgan and he wants to blame Trump. It's because Trump was reelected. Make that make sense, Mr. Destiny. Make it make sense. Because at the same time, you have the nerve to say that the shooter was MAGA. Make that make sense. You're blowing smoke out your butthole and you don't even know it. Make it make sense. Has there yet been one person who's on Trump's side that has tried to shoot somebody on Trump's side? Which a house divided cannot stand. Not a single one of us conservatives, those who see ourselves as conservatives, but most importantly Christians, aren't going around shooting each other. It's not happening. Use your head. And then on top of that, you have the right making him a god. Leave your church if your pastor doesn't bring up Charlie. What are you talking about? Charlie's assassination is more than just about Charlie. He was martyred. He is a martyr. And if you're going to talk about him at church, that's what you're going to talk about. That this is America, and it's no longer the America that was safe for Christians. Because there was a time where the only thing people would do is call you a bigot. Wham! I'll admit, I haven't been the most outspoken in public, but I'm an introvert. I struggle with that. I don't say hi to anyone unless they say hi to me. In which case, then yeah, I'll strike up a conversation. But you've got to be kidding. When you are praising Charlie rather than God. He was a good man of faith and should be recognized for that. But through that, bless God, not glorifying Charlie. Don't do it. Now, with that being said, there are some real conservatives that were close to him, that adored him, and he adored, that are doing it the right way. They're praising God and recognizing the man. And there's nothing wrong with recognizing Charlie. But when you start getting to the point where you're saying, if your pastor didn't mention Charlie, leave your church. What is he, Jesus? I didn't know anyone's name other than Jesus should be mentioned in church. Now, with that being said, my pastor did. You want to know why Pastor Dave did? Because of the moment, what it means for us as Christian Americans. What it means for us as Christian Americans. He was martyred. And that should have been the topic of discussion at church. Because it goes along with what Jesus said, which is the world will hate you because it hated him first. He was murdered too. For being perfect. We're not even perfect. We're just supposed to do our best to represent Christ. He is the one who washes us clean. He is the one who gives us righteousness. He is the one who redeems all. Because of his perfect sacrifice. Charlie believed that. Charlie lived that. From what I can tell. Especially from what other people are saying. Because no, I did not know him personally. I did want to meet him. I hoped beyond all that he would come to Indiana. I thought it would be cool to talk to him about his whole college is a scam thing. Because honestly, that was the biggest point he made politically. And really, I don't even know if you want to call that political. That I loved. That I 100% got behind. And this is coming from someone who has a college education. But it might as well be an edumacation. Because it was a scam. Not that I didn't appreciate the classes I took or the professors that I had. But what good did it do me? I'm not even in that. No, I'm trying. I have my children's book that I've written. I have other books that I'm writing. Yes, books. I've got a second Timmy the Gifted Bunny coming. But it's going to be based around his friend. I've got a novelette that I've written. And I'm ready to do something with. But I want to add a novella with it. A story I had no idea was a novella, and because I was really young when I wrote it, finished it, and haven't looked at it since. But now I'm editing it, I'm fixing it up, and it needs it. So I'm trying, and Lord willing, this will lead to me having those public conversations, to be more bold and unashamed, to let people know of Jesus Christ. Because when seeing what happened with Charlie, there's no excuse anymore. Introvert or not, there's not an excuse. But right, if you could do us all a favor and stop with the nonsense, Candace Owens. Stop with the nonsense, Tucker Carlson, who I really appreciate. Stop making controversies out of his death. And that's all you've done. We as Christians should be ashamed to take someone's martyrdom and turn it into a liberal story, essentially. We should. I don't know what else to say. But to sit there and he was going Catholic. He was saying, what's that matter? What matters is that he died for his faith. He died as a man of God, and he was raising his kids to be so, and has helped his wife. And now it is up to her to continue that raising of her two children without him and the way that they should go so that they never depart from it. And I know some of you will recognize that. But God bless her and her kids. God bless Erica and her two kids. That's what we should have always been concerned about. Not whether he's Catholic, not whether he's still Protestant, not this or that. Because, guess what? There were a lot of things I disagreed with on Charlie. But, not on Charlie, but disagreed with Charlie. For instance, his stance on the LGBTQ. But did that have to be mentioned at the moment? Does that really have to be mentioned now? Well, no, because I wasn't in his camp. So for all I know, in the way that people talk about him, those who were in his camp, he was witnessing to these people. Which is great. It's what we need to do. What I'm talking about is supposedly they should all be in the conservative movement, and how dare us if we disagree with that. Well, I disagree with that. Why? Because we are putting on blinders if we think that joining them because we can't beat them is the answer, and that is exactly what we're doing. Can't beat them, let's join them, and that's what we're doing. And that's why I disagreed with it. Because people like Dave Rubin, who has adopted a child, I'm skeptical of that. Read Genesis. There was not one good homosexual in the book of Genesis. Not one good. Abraham did all that he could to beg God not to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But it didn't work because not a single one of them were good. I mean, for crying out loud, we're talking about people who went to his nephew's door, Abraham's nephew's door, and asked for the men that were in there. And when he refused, they then said, okay, we're going to do worse to you and your family, but we still want them. Like, no matter what, they were bad. And we're fooling ourselves if we think that's not going to be the case, period. Now, with that being said, at least some of the gays on the conservative side are using common sense. Like, I'm 100% certain that Dave Rubin doesn't want to continue to see homosexual or any kind of sexuality whatsoever in children's books. I'm sure he does. But I don't listen to him, so I don't know. But I wouldn't question that. But it's over. It's time that we either get on the same page and just continue prayers for Charlie. And God bless those on the right that still get it. God bless you. Because you're probably talking the same thing. But anyone that's saying, oh, this conversation is interesting, that conversation isn't, the only conversation worth having, the only one, is that he was a man of God who died for his faith. And because of that, we have to be ready too. Jesus said it will happen. He straight told his disciples, you are going to die. Because he asked them, can you drink from the cup that he's going to drink? And they answered, yes. He said, oh, you will. And at the time, they didn't know what he was talking about. But after he was killed on the cross and he rose, they knew. They knew he was talking about the same thing. That they were going to be martyred. Killed for the faith. And that's what should be talked about. Period. So I guess in a way I did get a little nerdy. Because no better topic in the world to talk about than Jesus Christ himself. No better topic to talk about his perfect sacrifice. He lived a sinless life. He died on the cross. And in 3 days he rose from the grave, defeating death and forgiving sins. He's broken chains. He's given us the gift of the Holy Spirit. And now we can dwell in Him. Thank you for watching. God bless. Thanks for watching. This is Daniel Stabler. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want more notifications. God bless, and have a wonderful time and day.